Alright, let's dive into something that's got the film world buzzing right now, the Toronto International Film Festival's Tribute Awards. But instead of just listing off names and accolades, let's unpack why this year's lineup is so fascinating and what it says about the industry. Personally, I think these awards aren't just about honoring talent. They're a snapshot of where cinema is headed. So let's break it down. First up, Penélope Cruz is set to receive a special tribute award. Now, what makes this really interesting is that Cruz isn't just showing up to collect a trophy. She's bringing 2 films to the festival, Bola Negra and Bunker. Both premiered at Cannes, which already tells you she's having a massive year. In my opinion, this isn't just a celebration of her past work. It's a nod to her current momentum. What many people don't realize is that when an actor like Cruz gets this kind of recognition, it often signals a shift in their career trajectory. Are we looking at another Oscar contender? It's too early to say, but the fact that she's juggling 2 high-profile projects suggests she's at the top of her game. Then there's Lee Chang-dong, who's receiving the Ebert Director Award. If you take a step back and think about it, this is huge for Asian cinema. Lee's film, Possible Love, is his first in 8 years, and Netflix is giving it a theatrical release in multiple territories. What this really suggests is that streaming platforms are starting to recognize the value of theatrical experiences for certain films. From my perspective, this is a win for both indie cinema and global storytelling. Lee's work has always been deeply introspective, and the fact that it's getting this kind of push feels like a victory for filmmakers who prioritize substance over spectacle. Now, let's talk about Sian Heder, who's getting the Impact Media Award. Heder's Coda was a game-changer, winning Best Picture at the Oscars, and now she's back with Being Human. What makes this really interesting is the timing. Coda was a breakthrough for representation in film, and Being Human seems to be continuing that legacy. One thing that immediately stands out is how quickly Heder has followed up her success. In an industry where directors often take years to find their next project, Heder's momentum is impressive. This raises a deeper question. Can she maintain the same level of impact? Personally, I'm rooting for her, but it's a high bar to clear. Isabelle Huppert and Rosalind Eleazar are both receiving performer awards, and their inclusion feels like a deliberate move to highlight diverse talent. Huppert's All About Corinne is getting gala treatment, which is no surprise given her status as a cinema icon. But what's more intriguing is Eleazar's role in Chris Rock's Misty Green. This is Rock's latest directorial effort, and Eleazar is front and center. What many people don't realize is that these awards often serve as a launchpad for emerging talent. Eleazar's recognition here could be the start of something much bigger. If you take a step back and think about it, this is how careers are made, not just through the roles you play, but through the platforms that elevate you. Finally, let's talk about the bigger picture. The proceeds from the Tribute Awards go toward talent development programs focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion. This isn't just a feel-good add-on. It's a statement. In my opinion, festivals like TIFF are realizing that their role goes beyond showcasing films. They're shaping the industry. What this really suggests is that award ceremonies are becoming more than just celebrations of individual achievement. They're tools for systemic change. A detail I find fascinating is how this gala is also seen as a predictor for Oscar recognition. It's like the film world's version of a crystal ball, and that makes it even more significant. So what's the takeaway here? Personally, I think this year's TIFF Tribute Awards are more than just a pat on the back for a few talented individuals. They're a reflection of where cinema is today and where it's headed. From Penélope Cruz's dual projects to Lee Chang-dong's long-awaited return, every honoree brings something unique to the table. But more importantly, they're part of a larger narrative about representation, innovation, and the future of storytelling. What makes this really interesting is how it all ties together. Talent, impact, and industry evolution. It's not just about the films. It's about the conversations they spark. And that, in my opinion, is what makes this year's awards so compelling. So, what do you think? Are these awards just a night of celebration? Or are they something more? Let me know in the comments below.